bari biyo ken kontan batale bari natal pour kanna bullo ko jibe
ito kontan tale makura bari ala ya lonte man kontan de makura kana nyina ko teninte belbe tuba dudula kilimoto
o moto nyalti kay
ngokko di baka to kinan jang pour yena dula dada ni tata na dula to makura ala ya lon njuso malla ama hani futa dula to dula din anu birite loro commencé woni bitema ama hani me
non ama me to nyalom
ke bara fonye mune muy la kulloti
ndela kullu balu walti
balu
ha
way fo balu ko loro fanankel
ikal loro fanankele
ñin kunna soniyata ta www.baluwo.com anin baluwo isela bulloran jorangol be sang anila kudula asatare mambata jorangol membu ko sementol kenyo babarol nil peruol woni nga nyon jamal ta baluwo.com yin jorangol be sang ila dinkira bado adungite batala je anin baluwo ifangole marate la kudula.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Good morning, Kerr Fatou. It's a great pleasure for myself and Professor Sidat Yafa, Board of Trustee member of KairaCLO and a technical expert in climate change and development. He's supervising the WASCAL, is the project director and supervising PhDs in climate change education in the Gambia. Has been doing it for quite a while now. A notable academic, and he is among the first persons to volunteer his time and his resources to get KairaCLO moving. So we are always very proud and very pleased when he is able to make time to participate in our activities. But I would give him some time to say one or two things about his commitments and the things he is trying to do for our organization as well as for our country. Fatou, we are very pleased to be here today because this is Sadauda's centenary, and we started celebrating it and calling the whole nation to participate in memorializing Sadauda's very rich leadership legacy. We formed the organization, the Kairaba Conservation and Leadership Organization, in 2022, November 2022. So we are now 2 years old. We were very encouraged that the week after registration of the organization, ECOWAS recognized Sadauda's seminal contribution to institutionalizing democracy and to averting what would have been the first case of genocide in West Africa, in Liberia and Sierra Leone during their civil wars. It was his chairmanship of the ECOWAS Commission that save these two countries, sister countries of the region. Of course, before that, he was an envoy of the OIC to the conflicts between Iran and Iraq. So, with that kind of legacy, with that kind of outstanding leadership, I think every Gambian has a responsibility to valorize, to reclaim this legacy on a purely patriotic basis, not because you agreed with him politically or not. So when we got that kind of encouragement from an external, neutral organization, we were very encouraged. And we launched the organization in 2023 on his 99th birthday. We invited His Excellency, President Adama Barrow, and the First Lady of the Gambia was at the launch. Mrs. Fatoumata Barrow was at the launch of KairaCLO, 16 May 2023. Our organization is a private citizens initiative. It's not a family foundation. It's not a political outfit. It's a non-partisan, non-profit organization. However, Lady Chilel Jawara, the widow of Sadauda, is the honorary life chief patron. So we would want that absolutely to be clear, that all we are doing because we believe that Sadauda was the father of our nation, and his legacy is as much as ours as his own biological children. So we have to do everything possible to conserve it, to preserve it for this generation and for future generations. But the inspiration of the establishment of KairaCLO was the Banjul Declaration 1977. I'm sure Professor Yafa would elaborate on that a little bit. But that document is so visionary, is so foresighted, that up to now, a lot of people, when they read it again, they said, wow, if only we have taken Sadauda's advice over the years, Gambia would have been a garden city-state. Just plant trees. I remember as a schoolboy going to youth camps, Kairaba Avenue was then just coming up. I remember very clearly, there is a tree next to Butcher's shop, one of our nice spots in the Gambia. I remember us planting it all those years ago in the late 80s. So we have a rich heritage, not only of conservation or care for the environment, but of a temperament that is so unique, especially given our size. We had a visionary leader who had, if you like, seen the future. And every time he spoke, then he was talking about tecito. Tecito, if you interpret it, is not just literally tightening your belt, but to be self-reliant, to be productive as citizens. So we felt in his centenary, definitely we would like to amplify this wonderful achievement and in our little way contribute to reminding our compatriots what a great leader he was, and we should not allow his legacy, for want of better care, to go into waste. So we felt that the best way to honor that legacy is to reprint and distribute the Banjul Declaration to as many prominent and distinguished and accomplished Gambians as possible, but principally to get it back into the schools, to get it back into the bloodstream of our education system, because this is where values have a chance of leaving an impact on the lives of people. Myself, I saw this Banjul Declaration when I was a schoolboy in Winley Primary School all those years ago. The chairman of the Local Government Commission's mother, Mrs. Joyner, was our head teacher, close to half a century ago. So the declaration stayed with me for some reason. And we were very pleased also that at the first meeting after the change of government between His Excellency President Barrow and the National Assembly members, that was the 40th anniversary of the declaration. This was in 2017. The first meeting between the National Assembly and His Excellency President Barrow, it was readopted. And for a while, it was even on the walls of the National Assembly, outside. Some trees were planted, but the animals also exercising their freedom of movement did not let them grow. Luckily, we were able on the centenary birthday itself to plant some coconut trees at Sadauda's mausoleum at the National Assembly. So we are here today to present you with the declaration in acknowledgement and in recognition of your own contribution to Sadauda's legacy. We know you have some interesting interviews in his very later years, and that I'm sure reminds Gambians of the kind of person he was. He has the most wonderful temperament. He was really a gentleman of high class, and we appreciate that in your work every day of political reportage and all of those things, you are able to take out time to do that extensive interview. And we are hoping that through meaningful partnerships, we could collaborate in making a fulsome documentary about Sadauda's life and times. The years of Sadauda, really for us, those who were born after independence or around independence, were really, 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 I'm saying this very patriotically, some of the most wonderful years, because Africa was in darkness. There was no democratic plurality. And even after the 1981 failed coup d'etat, he had elections soon after that, just to reinforce his commitment to democracy. Of course, the African the African Commission for Human and People's Rights, an AU organization, is hosted here. Even their charter is sometimes called the Banjul Charter. So really, we have a lot to be proud of in terms of our first president's achievements. And it is time that we tell our own children, and some of us our grandchildren, the kind of Gambia that we grew up in, where diversity and inclusion was really the order of the day. From permanent secretaries to ministers, it was very national. And really, women empowerment, youth empowerment, all of these things were taken to the highest level. Agricultural productivity, state institutions that were functioning such that other countries would come and visit our country on study tours to learn about our secret sauce. Even talks about making Gambia the Singapore of West Africa. All of these are speaking to the vision that Sadauda shared with our nation. So we are very pleased that the centenary year is coming to a close, and we will be able to close it with a memorial lecture, the KairaCLO Pan-African Lecture Series. And our inaugural lecturer would be Dr. Omar Aliou Touré, the president of the ECOWAS Commission. We think that is very fitting, given the kind of democratic recessions we have seen in West Africa and the conflicts that are seem to be never ending. So we hope that this time for reflection, this time of goodwill to all men, Christmas is a joyous time. We know a lot of our brothers and sisters come home to be with family and friends. But on the 28th of December, we hope to have the first lecture memorializing Sadauda's legacy. And we are hoping that Gambians will turn out in their numbers to remember for a moment His Excellency President Sadauda's amazing legacy. We have sent out letters of invitation to His Excellency President Adama Barrow to be the chief guest of honor. We have also had a few exchanges with His Lordship Chief Justice Hassan Bijalo, who was Sadauda's Attorney General for 10 years, maybe to say a few words. His Excellency, former Vice President Bakari B. Dabo, also we will reach out to him if he could say, because for them it wouldn't be a speech. It's something that they have lived through and live with, just to remind maybe the assembled Gambian audience that is there, and for those who may be watching for it internationally. So these are some of the things we have been up to. Of course, it's quite a few things, but emphasize again, it's a private initiative. It is a non-profit. Whatever we do, it's our own coffers that we draw from, particularly people like Professor Yafa. They have gone above and beyond to contribute to helping KairaCLO find its feet. We hope after the centenary activities, there would be enough groundswell, there would be enough information, especially within the school system. We are in the process of concluding an MOU with the Ministry of Basic Education and the Ministry of Higher Education. We have one with NEA, and we are also working towards establishing Kairaba Jawara Africa Climate Justice Center at the University of the Gambia. And all of these things are at very advanced stages. So the legacy projects that will be carried out in 2025, also a significant year for Gambia, is the Diamond Jubilee of our nationhood, will be going in tandem to reflect on the legacy that is left behind. So I think, Fatou, I will stop here, and Professor Yafa will maybe say a few words about his own engagement and involvement with KairaCLO, and then we will present you with the Banjul Declaration 1977. Prof.
All right. Thank you very much, Fatou and your staff at Kerr Fatou. This is my first time coming over here. Thank you, Chair of KairaCLO, Mr. Almamital. My name is Professor Sidat Yafa, University of the Gambia. I'm the director of the WASCAL Doctoral Research Program on Climate Change and Education, which is a regional training program in West Africa. We are in 12 countries now in West Africa in different areas of climate change specialization. Sadauda, sometimes when I try to talk about Sadauda, I shed tears because of his golden opportunity for this country. Unfortunately, to be honest with you, we as a country, we have not tapped into that opportunity yet. That's why KairaCLO was established, to move on with that legacy to the highest level. Sadauda was a great visionary, not only for the Gambia, not only for West Africa, not only for Africa, but the global level. Why? And how? Why? Because he foresaw the coming of this climate change. He foresaw the destruction of our biodiversity. That's why he established this Banjul Declaration in 1977. Because of this Banjul Declaration, the international community came up with the idea to establish United Nations Convention on Biodiversity. And because of this Banjul Declaration, the international community came up with the idea of establishing the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change in 1992. So he saw this idea about climate change. He saw the idea about protecting our biodiversity 14 to 15 years before the international community saw it coming. So that's how he was. That's a great asset we have as a nation. I think we should be able to harness that opportunity and make it available to every Gambian, to make sure that every Gambian is proud of Sadauda, and to make sure that every Gambian emulates his visionary leadership in terms of conservation, biodiversity conservation, on climate change. And Sadauda, as a veterinarian professionally, he has practiced what he preached. That's agriculture, because he had his own farm at Banjul. So those are some of the things that have motivated me personally and professionally. One, to get into climate change research, and also to practice agriculture. I'm an agronomist by profession, PhD in agronomy, and I'm practicing. He was a veterinarian. I am an agronomist, but I am practicing his profession. That's veterinary, animal production at Sarayafa Ranch in my village in Sandu Misera, Upper River region. And this KairaCLO, we will take it up no matter how challenging it would be, no matter what we come across in terms of challenges in life. We will move it. We'll make it work. We'll make it work for every Gambian. We'll make it work for our children and for our grandchildren. So that's why I'm very happy to be part of it. When they first approached me, toward the beginning of this year, 2024, in my office at UTG, I did not hesitate. I did not even think twice to join or not to join. I just said, I'm going to join. In our tradition, Gambian tradition, Sadauda was my father-in-law, because his brother, Basadi Jawara's daughter, Jare Jawara, is married to my biological cousin, Lamin Yaf of QCell, Q Group. So that gives me extra energy to make sure that KairaCLO moves forward, and also to make sure that we as a nation, we protect our environment and also climate change, to be cognizant of climate change. And finally, before I end, Sadauda saw soil conservation as a major challenge in our country compared to other parts of Africa. The Gambia became the second country in Africa to establish soil conservation. The first country was Kenya, at Egerton College then in Joro in Kenya. So the Gambia was the second in the whole of Africa to practice, to establish a special unit on the Department of Agriculture called Soil and Water Management Unit. That's why I started my work in 1983. And that unit has done an excellent job in terms of soil conservation, although it needs to be revamped right now. Although we still have the unit called Soil and Water Conservation Service, we need to do more in order to protect flora and fauna as being espoused in the Banjul Declaration of 1977. On that note, Madam Kamara, thank you very much for giving KairaCLO the opportunity to come and present this noble edifice of Sadauda Kairaba Jawara to your institution, Kerr Fatou. Thank you very much.
appreciate this, the Banjul Declaration. We really feel honored for us to be chosen among the few lucky ones who would be able to have this great declaration to be hung in our office. I promise we will hang it in our studio here so that whoever comes in will have to see it. I was one of the few people who spoke to Sadoda last. I interviewed him when I was doing this series, the independent series that I was doing. I think it was in 2019 or 2020, 2019, I think. And, when we visited him, that was the first time. I said to myself, my biggest dream will be to interview Sadauda. I interviewed President Jammeh, I interviewed President Barrow. I want to interview every president that the Gambia has. And I think as a journalist, I was lucky to also be able to interview him. And he sounded so current. He understood, he remembered every single thing. We took along this jolly. I think Alhaji Mbai, he also passed away. Alhaji Mbai was there when the Alhaji Mbai, started this Kora tunes. I know this DK Sabari, and he was singing along. It was so lively. He remembered everything. He remembered how he went to negotiate for the Gambian independence. It was just amazing at his age how he remembered all of those things, the details, the information. And I still, every year when it's his birthday, I still post those videos I remember those pictures. I always posted every birthday to wish him a happy birthday. It was a picture that I took with him and the other one with the first lady, Lady Chilel and Kasa and the others. It was amazing. And I also remember when he died, we did tributes. First, we did that in the studio, and I did think series of them. But the one that was very remarkable for me was the one I did with Jale Alhaji Tamba and Alhaji Mbai's wife and son, because they had traveled extensively with him. Sadauda was the president who traveled with these Jalis wherever he went. So they had a good recollection of what he was doing and how he handled things. I remember how he explained where political opponents came to him and said, something krubali in Basse, nyantala bitiko soronale, because he was a political enemy. And Sadauda just kept quiet. He didn't say anything. Few days after, he went to visit that guy's shop. And when he came back, mokanamo kurubali la bitiko mar falma ko kurubali mbitanet. Atele musodina ledi chilel. And because we don't agree politically, that doesn't mean nyanta simbola laka. That is the kind of leader he was. And I think there was so much from that 1 month ago, I was telling Sheriff, my partner, I think we should do a documentary about Sadauda. His book tells us everything, but there's so much material out there that we can tap in and do a documentary about his life, because what he has done for this country, I don't know who else have done so much like that. So I'm glad that before this we had discussed about that, and KairaCLO is ready to partner with us on that. And we will be amazed to do that project with you guys and also help to promote some of the work that you guys are doing. Our doors are always open to partner with stuff like that, because I always tell people my grandmother is Jawara, so I call him grandpa because my grandmother is Jawara. So for me, it's more of, this is family, but this is the country's father also. Somebody who has given so much to us, and I think it's our responsibility also to give back to his legacy, what he has done. And I want to thank KairaCLO for what you're doing. This is selfless. Just to come out and do this without any financial gains, no resources, but all you want is to make sure his legacy, his name is out there, and so that the young people, because a lot of us don't know a lot about Sadauda. So this will help to promote and let people know what his legacy was. The other day I was doing a show here and I said somebody, Sadauda minke nyim bankoka, Sadauda le selo te. Yeah, I tell you selo te, because my grandmother used to tell me, Niko kabo banjunu kata basi wo taimo, kakatili jelleta. What he did to make sure we have access to basic services, we cannot underestimate that. But we have to tell his story, and I'm glad that you guys have started something like that, and we are very much open to partner with you on some of these things. And definitely, I thank you guys so much. On behalf of my team, I thank you so much for this. And Dr. Yafa, please come back again. You know, we have to do so many things with you, especially when it comes to climate change issues. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Almame. Thank you. And to the rest of the team, thank you so much. Thank you.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, Takaful Fund, management of Zakat, management of Awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Ya bari biyo ken kontan batale. Bari inatal pour kanna bullo ko jibe.
Ito kontan tale makura. Bari ala ya lonte mon kontan de. Makura kana nyina ko teninte belbe tuba dudula kilimoto.
O moto nyalti kay.
Ngoko di baka to ki nan jang pour yena dula dada ni tata na dula to makura ala ya long njuso malla ama hani futa dula to dula din anu birite loro commencé woni bitema ama hani me
No ama me to nyalom
ke bara fonye mun muy la kulloti
ndela kullu balu waldi
baluo
ha
way fo baluo ko loro fanankel
ikal loro fanankele
ñin kunna soniyata ta www.baluwo.com anin baluwo isela bulloran jorangol be sang anila kudula asatare mambata jorangol membuko cementol kenyo babarol nil peruol woninga nyon jamal ta baluwo.com yin jorangol be sang ila dinkira bado adungite batala je anin baluwo ifangole marate la kudula